There are a lot of things that you probably wouldn't expect a therapist to say. There's a lot of things that, as a therapist, you probably shouldn't say. And what I'm going to talk about in this video is one of the most probably taboo things and one of the most taboo ideas that I really do have as a therapist. And this might feel contrary to a lot of the things that you've heard, but if you stick around till the end, you'll understand why I'm saying it. I've worked as a therapist for almost a decade now. I've done over 7,000 therapy sessions. So, what I'm about to say, I say this with my full chest. Sometimes vulnerability is weakness. There's been a lot of really wonderful content that's been going out into the world lately about how to feel your feelings, how to be more vulnerable, how to express things to people. I've even done videos on that. If you go back in my video archives, you'll see that I have a bunch of videos on my platform too, and that content is phenomenal. I mean, pioneers of the work like Brene Brown have put out countless videos and speeches and books talking about the power of vulnerability, how vulnerability is not weakness, it is the ultimate strength and the magnitude of the life that is possible for you if you learn how to be vulnerable. And I agree 100%, but there's something missing from that. Brene alludes to it in some of her work, but it's not the thing that's talked about most often. And I know it's the thing that you're probably questioning too when you hear this stuff. The thing that's not addressed is, but sometimes it is bad to do that. But sometimes it is dangerous to be vulnerable. But sometimes, and with some people and in some circumstances, you're not supposed to be vulnerable. So, how do you know the difference? How do you know when it's okay to be vulnerable and when it's actually going to be courageous versus when you probably should keep your mouth shut and not say anything? That's what I want to dive into this video. And it's something that I don't see enough people talking about, and it's a conversation that I have to have with so many of my clients. The truth of the matter is there are circumstances, there are times, there are people that you are going to come across where the dumbest thing you could ever do is be vulnerable with them, where the most dangerous thing you could ever do is be vulnerable with them. The reality that a lot of us don't like to face and something that we're trying to run away from is that there are bad people. A lot of therapy speak has made it seem like you're not supposed to say stuff like that. You're supposed to have compassion for everybody. You're supposed to know that everybody has a story. And while that might be true, that doesn't take away the behaviors that somebody has engaged in and the harm that that person has done. Some people are just bad people. Some people are just really shitty. And that doesn't mean you can't have compassion, but for most people, your compassion's biting you in the ass. And same, I've had so many circumstances where I had compassion for people where it only did me harm having compassion for them and it didn't actually serve anything. It didn't actually help create any sort of sustainable change. Some people really are just bad people. There are people out there who are predatorial and who are dangerous, who you absolutely should not share vulnerabilities with because they will use it against you. Sometimes it's our family, sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's even our partners. Sometimes it's the people closest to us who want to make it believe and want to make it seem as though we can go to them with everything. But the time you finally open up and you finally go say something to them, they throw it in your face or they use it against you in an argument. If you go to your boss and you say, I'm having a really hard time, and you get fired or they demote you, when you finally express something to someone you care about and it goes completely wrong, or you share with a friend and you thought that you and this person were so much closer But you finally shared something. You finally developed the courage and the vulnerability to express this thing that has been on your mind, and they completely walk away and they ghost you. There are circumstances where that happens. Or when you're kind to someone and they end up inducing physical, sexual, or other sorts of violent harm onto you. There's countless stories where that happens. I'm pretty sure like the entire Ted Bundy story is like that. He got women who were like vulnerable and wanted to be kind to him or something, and he ended up doing the disgusting and despicable things that he did to them. There are bad people out there. There are dangerous circumstances out there in the world. And it's not about never being vulnerable. It's about understanding when is it appropriate to be vulnerable. Brene Brown openly talks about this in her work, but again, it's not the thing that's focused on most importantly. You can only be vulnerable with someone who has earned the right to hear that vulnerability. Not everybody has earned the right to hear your story. Not everybody has earned the right to have you share the way that you do, or to love them the way that you do, or to be kind and compassionate the way that you are. As a therapist, these are things that are being said behind closed doors that a lot of therapists don't want to say publicly because it's not it's not it's not appropriate. I don't fully believe that, but like it's not what you would expect to hear. It seems kind of taboo. But as a therapist, I have absolutely told people don't ever share anything with that person. They are going to use it against you. Don't ever go out of your way for this person because it's only going to do you harm. Put massive boundaries around your love. You don't have to be a jerk to people, but you don't have to be super sweet and kind and nice to everybody. Not everybody has earned that. And these are the things that we don't like talking about because we used to have an extreme where it was just like, I'm going to fend for me and F everybody else. And now we're swinging in the complete opposite direction where it's like sunshine and fairy tales and there's no bad people in this world and everybody has trauma and everybody has a story. F that. No, that's not helpful. There's this story about a frog and a scorpion, and the scorpion hops onto the frog's back and says, "Can you bring me along the river?" And the frog is like, "No, you're going to bite me. Like, you're going to hurt me." And the scorpion's like, "No, no, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. I promise I won't hurt you." So the scorpion gets on the frog's back. The frog brings it across the river, and then the scorpion attacks it. And as the scorpion is laying there dying, he said, "I thought you said you weren't going to do anything." And the scorpion goes, "I'm a scorpion. Of course I was going to do that to you." Now, I know that's a cute riddle. It's a little fairy tale, but there are certain people who are like that in this world. And yeah, maybe they need compassion and maybe they need love and maybe they need someone to help them, but it's not going to be you. Let a professional do that. Let someone who's more equipped and trained to do that. You not being kind and loving and empathetic and compassionate to every single person doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you smart. That's like saying, I'm going to give my bank card and I'm going to give my PIN to everyone. It's like, that's not intelligent. That's not intelligent. Why would you do that? That doesn't make you a good person. It makes you ignorant. Believe me, same. I've done these things in my past too. You have to know when to deploy it and when not to. This is where trust comes into play. Trust and vulnerability. We have this notion that we're not supposed to test people. I completely disagree. I think we should be testing people. Now, again, you have to do it intelligently. We're not doing it to get a gotcha on someone and to be like, haha, see, I knew I couldn't trust you. That's not the point. Brene Brown talks about the marble jar. Over time, little bids. Share a little thing with someone and see how they handle it. Do something with someone. See if they reciprocate. See how things play out. Little marbles in the marble jar. Every time someone makes a positive bid, add a marble. or keep note of it. That's the evidence that you're going to need that this person has built trust. You have built trust with this person to then be vulnerable, to then have sincere empathy and compassion, to then be a person that this person goes to when they're struggling. These are the practical, tactical, social skills that and self skills that you would learn in a therapy session with a good therapist who isn't afraid to say the taboo, uncomfortable thing. There aren't enough therapists that are willing to speak these kinds of truths. You should test people. You should let them build trust with you, and you build trust with them. It's not about keeping a rigid scorecard. It's not like, well, I did the dishes, so you have to do this. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we are too empathetic with people. We are too kind with people. We have become too open and too trusting in a way that is harmful and maladaptive. People need to earn the right to have you express things. People need to earn the right for you to be vulnerable and to share and to open up your heart. You're not going to marry the first person you see on the street because they didn't earn the right to be your partner. Me and my friend have this joke because I used to jump into relationships very quickly. It's like, hey, how are you? My name is Bianca. You want to get married? People would look at you like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's like, no. Can you like get lost? But that's what we're doing with vulnerability. We're either completely closed off and we don't trust anybody and we have no intimacy, or we just completely dive in head first and it's like, see, I knew I shouldn't have been vulnerable. You're doing it wrong. You have to find that optimal middle ground. This is why you have to slowly over time build trust. You show a little bit, let them show a little bit. If they don't do it, pull back a little bit. There's a game, there's a dance to this. When you learn how to play the game, you'll learn how to do it efficiently. Step 1, start slow. Start slow. Tally up the experiences that you have had with this person and say, okay, I know that we've known each other for a while, or maybe we just started our relationship together. Here's the things that have happened, and here's how they ended up resulting. I said this thing, and this is how they reacted. Okay, that's a marble. I can put a couple marbles in there. Ooh, but when I brought this thing up last time, it didn't feel right. I don't know, something felt off about it. Okay, I'm gonna keep that in the back of my head. And then you go from there. And then over time, you keep playing this out and you keep testing it and you see, okay, is this going to be stable or not? And if it is, then you over time slowly share more and more and more. But the problem that so many people are having is it's all or nothing. I'm going to share everything with you and let's see how you do with it. And when you tear my heart out of my chest, I'm going to be upset. See, I knew I shouldn't have done it. That's not helpful. Or it's the complete opposite end where it's like, I'm not sharing anything with anybody. That's not going to happen. I'm not risking harm. You have to figure out how to do it intelligently. So step number 1 is identify, at what times and what places and with who have earned the right. Number 2, identify some non-negotiables with yourself. Identify some boundaries within yourself. What are the things that you know without a shadow of a doubt you're not okay sharing? What isn't comfortable for you? Who are the people that are absolute non-negotiables for you? You're like, honestly, I've tried sharing with you. I know this doesn't go well. I'm not trying that again. What are the people, places, and circumstances that you need to set some boundaries around? So be like, okay, this person, I know I can share like level 3, 4, and 5 truths, but anything above that, it's not effective. This person, this is my 10. This is like when I got to get something off my chest, I know I can go to this person and I can share this thing with them. This other person, I'm not sharing shit. 0, nothing. Here are the things I'm comfortable sharing. Here are the things that I'm not comfortable sharing. And you have to decide within yourself and come to the conclusion of, do I not want to share this because I'm scared or because it actually is not right for me in this circumstance? This is how you learn to deploy vulnerability intelligently, because sometimes vulnerability is weakness. And you have to know the difference so that you can be vulnerable with the people who have earned the right to experience your vulnerability. And so you can put a brick wall in between the people who haven't. I know this is really nuanced. I know that there's kind of a lot that goes into this. You're not going to learn this right away from one video, and that's okay. You're not supposed to. You're not going to learn how to do anything from a one and done. We preach that from the freaking hills here at Evolve because we've done it. We did the same thing. So we're not like teaching from some high top. This is from learned experience and from working with thousands and thousands of other people over the last almost 10 years. So if this is something that you want help with, reach out. Send me a DM on Instagram. Go to our website, evolveventurestech.com. You can work with me or my mission partner, Amelia, and we will get you set up to figure out what this is for you and how to do this appropriately for you. And if you enjoyed this video, please drop a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts were on this. Hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.